right, all right, all right. Hey, welcome everybody. Week 8 recap upon further review. This episode brought to you by Rockstar, Mandarin Orange. You need a little energy? Mandarin Orange. Listen, you're watching the number one rated, most viewed FML weekly show that's on Twitch. This is it. So let's buckle up. Let's have a good time. Listen, you like what you see? Hit us with a subscribe. Hit us with a follow. All these videos end up going on YouTube. Hit me with a like or subscribe on YouTube, man. We trying to grow the YouTube following as well. So, give it a help out, man. We're gonna keep trying to get this thing better and better. But let's start it off here, man. We got a lot of things we got to get into. Texans Chargers, also known as the Coachella Bowl. Mancha over in Coachella. He's raving. He's doing whatever. He's hitting seeds. God knows what he's doing. Hooking up with dudes. Whatever works ends in a loss. Beast ends up winning this game. This is going to help Beast because I don't know if he may have been able to win this game because Beast is a defensive guy. And Mancha's offense is really lacking a lot of weapons. But, it's possible Mancha could have won this one. And I think this is a game that Mancha would have needed in order to get to the playoffs. With this loss, that really puts him in a bad spot because now we're pretty much at the halfway point, okay? Chargers get this win, and that helps them out in their wild card spots. Moving forward, though, Vikings, Lions, division matchup, 34-31. Let's get into it. And a tight game throughout. This is a tight game throughout. Detroit Lions are able to throw the ball a lot more effectively than Minnesota. But Minnesota's not really a passing team. What Minnesota is they're a run team, and they'll throw with opportunity. You can see right here that they rush for over 171, or they rush for 171 yards. That's really big for them because that enables them to get their play action game going. They force a couple turnovers, but they turn it over once. Let's dig into it. Matt Stone, the rookie quarterback, great day for him in 4 touchdowns and over 350 yards, but 2 interceptions. And they lose a game by 3 points. So, once again, listen, you got these young quarterbacks, and you can throw for a lot of yards. You can throw as many touchdowns as you want. But if you throw it to the other team, you're going to put yourself in a bad spot. Kellen Mond, 171-1. That's kind of what he does. Both of these guys around, 70%. So pretty equal in the quarterback battle as far as efficiency and touchdown interception ratio. Running, though, Thad Castle, another big day for him. 11 for 148. He's clearly the star running back of the Minnesota Vikings now. Dalvin Cook comes in maybe against some better users, certain situations, maybe in the pass game a little bit more. But Thad Castle is the running back of the Minnesota Vikings. 11 for 148, 2 touchdowns. He averages over 13.5 a carry. That's insane. Tommy Betts gets 16 rushes for 58. Pollard chips in. And Dalvin Cook with 4 for 8. So once again, Dalvin Cook not really getting used because it's Thad Castle's team. Let's look at the catches here. Big day for Juju Smith-Schuster. 4 for 143 and 2 touchdowns. Hawkinson chips in. Michael Thomas, a free agent acquisition, really having a much better season this year. 358 and a touchdown. I mean, it's just not enough. They score 31. They lose by 3. You can't really hang that on the offense. You got to put a lot of blame on the defense. And now looking at Minnesota, Justin Jefferson's still the guy. 6 for 83. He's by far their best receiver. The question is, if you can take him away, what do they have left? Right? Dalvin Cook out of the backfield. We don't even know who this guy is, Jaden Collins. Jonnu Smith, 8th year in the league. He's a little bit older. No idea who this guy is. Thad Castle, I bet. So if you're able to have a legit Jair Alexander, Tre'Davious White, a lockdown corner that you could put on Jefferson, and they could stalemate, meaning, Jefferson will get some catches, but that corner will make some plays. Who does Minnesota go to in the pass game then? We're going to find out later on in the season in the playoffs. But Minnesota gets this one, division win, big win. outscored Detroit 21-14 in the fourth to win this thing 34-31. Buffalo, Kansas City in a barn burner, man. Listen, forget all the rest of the game, right? Take the first three quarters, wipe them out. They were entertaining, and that's great. Just watch the fourth quarter. Go to the fourth quarter, watch this game, watch how it unfolded. 35 points in the fourth quarter. A lot of back and forth at the end. At the end of the day, what people don't realize is Boogie outpasses Mahomes and Ocho in the Kansas City Chiefs. 388 in the air versus 238. A really good job. Let's dig into it. Josh Allen, another amazing day. 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. 15 to 26 for 57%. So completion percentage, not that great. You're under 65, so you're at 57. But a lot of big plays. You're talking 15 completions for over 400 yards. What's that average out to? That's over 16 yards an attempt. So a lot of bombs, a lot of deep passes here for Buffalo. We got Malibu in the chat. We got Debo always watching. I appreciate everybody that watches, man. I really do. But Josh Allen, 15 completions for over 400 yards. These are chunk plays. These are not little check downs. These are big plays here. Patty Mahomes throws for 246. A good day for him, 1-1. 64%, but Josh Allen, since his return from suspension, has just been on fire. Rushing-wise, Benson and Elliott both with 17 apiece. Great job, but this wasn't really a rushing game. This was more of a pass game. A.J. Wallace and DeAndre Mold. So after that Stephon Diggs trade, everyone said, man, it was a horrible trade, which it was. It was a horrible trade. Who was going to take the place of Stephon Diggs? Because everything tried to go on A.J. Wallace's shoulders for a season, and that didn't work. So DeAndre Molds has now taken that spot. And you could call maybe Wallace Diggs, and you could call Molds Wallace. But these guys now are a legit 1-2 combo in Buffalo. A.J. Wallace averaged 65 yards a catch. Every catch was a touchdown. These are not checkdowns. These are bombs. Okay? DeAndre Molds averaging 25 yards a catch. These are bombs. So if you're playing the under here, if you're trying to take away a halfback out, Buffalo ain't running halfback out, baby. They are bombing this thing. It looks like Baghdad in Buffalo. These two receivers, 8 catches for over 325 yards, 3 touchdowns. Unbelievable. With, of course, Dawson Knox, a tight end, chipping in. This is a dangerous offense here in Buffalo. Defensively, they give up a lot of points, but offensively, the receiving core has found their rhythm. Chiefs, McMoney, Kobe McMoney, 9 catches for 169. Here is my issue. You over here with the McMoneys, and that's all cute and dandy. But you can't get my boy not one? Send him. Ocho, hit me in the DMs. Kansas City, bring him to me. I'll take Tyreek off your hands, bro. You don't want him? Send him right here. Send him right here. I got you. Don't worry about it. Let's talk. Okay? And matter of fact, I'm going to get... Hey, I don't want nobody else going to the DMs. Even though I just said that live on Twitch. You guys are going to beat me to it. I'm going to get in the DMs. All right? Tyreek Hill, you're coming to Carolina. All right? Final score, 45-42. Buffalo, great job in the air. Able to outstrike the Kansas City Chiefs. Big win for Buffalo. Because that's an AFC East, or that's an AFC opponent and a possible playoff matchup down the line. At this point, there's nobody in the East that can beat Buffalo in the way that they're playing right now. Can Buffalo be consistent now and keep going? We're going to see. But they shouldn't lose any other division game. There's nobody that can beat them. Kansas City, big blow for them, especially with the Chargers winning against a Coachella-less Mancha Texans team, and the Raiders getting a win. We'll get into that game later, but this is a tough one for Kansas City because that division of the AFC West is tight. Here we go, moving on. New Orleans Saints, the New York Jets. Listen, the New Orleans Saints, um, not having a good season, but they've now stringed together two in a row. The Jets getting shut out in the first three quarters. So they're down 26 to nothing going into the fourth. The game is over at 20, at least in my mind. New Orleans up 26 nothing going into the fourth. The Jets try valiantly to come back. Can't do it though. They gave up too much. 33-21 is the final. This is it's a good feel good win for New Orleans, right? But it does nothing for them in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't improve their. If anybody, it hurts Kuzi, who's got their pick, right? But it doesn't matter to them. New Orleans, like I said, they're playing for fun. They're trying to dev guys, trying to get ready for next season. Next season's we got to see a move. This is a big blow for the Jets though, because the Jets playing well against good competition, getting some wins, losing some close ones, and now you just lose to New Orleans. This is a bad loss for them. This shows they're not ready. They're not ready for the AFC East division title. They're not ready to compete for it. They may not be ready for the seventh seed yet, because you're going to have consistency. You got to be over 500 and all that good jazz in order to get to the playoffs in the AFC. Ooh, let's get to the stats. Let's dig in. Here we go. Trevor Lawrence, 3 of 3, and both of the quarterbacks, listen, good job on the yards, good job on the touchdowns, right? This is a great job, but both quarterbacks still young, 4 years in the league. Well, 4 years, 6 years. They're starting to become veterans. They're still making too many mistakes. 3 interceptions apiece, right? If either of them could have cleaned this game up even more, and this is the Jets, if they had cleaned it up more, maybe they could win. If the Saints clean up their interceptions, man, maybe they blow this thing out, and instead of scoring 30, they're in the 40s and 50 range. It's a big difference. But both of them above 63%, right? 63 for Kyler, 72 for Lawrence. Just some key mistakes that were a problem. Um, but clearly a passing game. Antonio Gibson with a decent day here. 14 for 84 and a touchdown. Wakanda Jr. can't get off. 11 for 39. Just trying to run the ball. And listen, that's the thing. I mean, you're down 26 nothing in the third. What are you going to do? Run dive? You got to try to throw it. Let's get into the receiving here. We'll go to the Jets first. My goodness. Scary Terry, 5 for 125, 25 yards apiece. And then here's the biggest problem. Here's the biggest improvement for the Jets. 18 catches for over 200 yards for their tight end position. The tight end coach for the Jets needs a raise. Bump that man right now. Bump him. Nobody has an answer for this. As far as offensive production, the problem is the New York Jets defense is bleeding. They can't stop anybody right now. So as awesome as that looks on the offensive side, and the tight end coach is doing a great job, they're hurting on the other side. So amazing job out of the tight end position. Scary Terry keeping people honest at 25 a pop, and each of those guys getting a touchdown. Let's go to the Saints though. Perry Atkins. 12 catches for 154. What a day. Listen, I don't know if that was a dev game for him, but he's going to have a dev game coming soon. This guy Perry's going to be X Factor by like week 11. He's been eating these last few weeks. The difference is this thing ends up in a win, so that's great. Junior Glover, great job at the tight end position. Gibson really doesn't get anything going, but he helps out, gets a touchdown. Once again, Denzel Mims, Francis Lisby, what has gone on with Lisby? It seems as though they have completely. Lisby's angry in the locker room. He's angry. They called him the man. They called him the future. They said Lisby was great. Lisby is now nowhere to be found. And this has probably turned into Perry Atkins' new team. He's younger. He's bigger. He's 6'2", 199. Big body. They like Perry Atkins out in New Orleans. He's got a really good rapport with Kyler Murray. Francis Lisby and Kyler can't get on the same page. So Francis Lisby could possibly be on the trade block coming up soon. Maybe someone else will want to take him. Final score here. I benched Lisby for Atkins for X Factor game. Wow. Isn't that something? You bench your receiver to force it to get it to Atkins. Interesting. Interesting. Well, good job for the Saints. It ends up in a win, 33-21. Listen, keep doing what you're doing. Whether it results in wins or not, keep doing what you're doing. Get that team ready for the next season. Because this season's over. You don't have a draft pick. So, if anything, try your best to dev as many guys as you can. Get some upgrades and get that team ready for another run next year. Saints win this one, though, 33-21. Doesn't change it for the Saints. Hurts the Jets big time. Next game, here we go. Jacksonville, Tennessee. Listen, we can't take too much long on doing these kind of games. Tennessee is disgusting. This is a horrible game. 6 turnovers from Tennessee. They have no offense whatsoever. The Jacksonville defense is too smothering. Offensively, they're up 35-7 at the half. This is just embarrassing. 52-7. I just hope that they continue to stay here and don't get busy, because this is just Chad Edwards, no touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Zach Wilson, an almost perfect game, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 93%. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I am sure at some point Malibu didn't even care about offense. He just wants to play more defense because it was juicy out there. Everybody was eating out there. This is embarrassing if you're Tennessee. Listen, we should never wait for Tennessee ever again if they're on a day 3 advance. Matter of fact, they don't play within 24 hours. It's an automatic force loss. This is embarrassing. We can't wait for this. This is not good. Chad Edwards, god awful. The Jaguars murder Tennessee. Edwards-Helaire, the free agent, he's averaging 3 yards a carry. And listen, you got to give credit to Jacksonville's defense. Jacksonville's defense is really good. They're very aggressive. If you don't have an answer for that aggression, you're going to get ate up. And the funny thing is, you would think that Tennessee, in seeing the Jaguars' defense twice a year, again and again, would have a better handle on it. I'm not saying they'd win the game because I don't think they'd ever win the game, but they'd have a better handle on it. They do not. NTN eats them up, 15 for 93. I mean, geez Louise. Jaguars, everybody eats, right? Ronald Abraham, beast. Chark doesn't even listen. Chark gets 2 catches. He says, "Coach, I don't even need to be in here. Let everybody else play." He not worried about it. Just a good job spreading the ball around. I mean, and there's just no answer here from the Tennessee defense or an answer from the Tennessee offense. Just nothing getting going. I'm getting sick looking at this game. I don't need to do defense a lot, but we're going to go to this Jacksonville defense. I don't care about the Tennessee defense. I don't care about them at all. Let's get into this. Ray Johnson, 8 tackles. A lot of guys chipping in here. Let's look at the TFLs. 3 for Ray Johnson from the middle linebacker position. 4, 5, 6, 7 TFLs, right? So that's at least 7 plays where it's negative yards, and now you're either 2nd and long, 3rd and long. You thought you had something, and you're going backwards. Those are drive killers. Sacks wise, 2 sacks. Ray Johnson, Olokun out of Yale, smart guy. And then interception wise, Shaquille Griffin, 3 interceptions. Ray Johnson probably ended up being player of the week here. Tyson Campbell and Miles Jack, but 3 for Shaq Griffin. Why throw it to that guy after maybe the 2nd time? After the 2nd time at throwing it, just stop throwing that way. Just stop. Hey, enjoy your dev game, Jacksonville. Make sure you give Tennessee a gift basket. 52-7. Jacksonville, king of the AFC South. Tennessee, toilet bowl. You're horrible. Next. Miami, New England. AFC East matchup. What last year, when this game was played late in the season, was it was going to help decide who's going to win the conference, who's going to win the division. Is Miami going to win the division? Is New England going to win the division? Now these guys are playing and nobody cares. There is zero talk about Joe now. There's zero talk about P. Will. They've completely fallen off the map. These are two struggling teams. Um, the only thing that the Patriots are consistent in is losing. The only thing that the Dolphins are consistent in is being inconsistent. 35-14, they win the game, but it's not going to matter at the end. Buffalo's playing too good. Miami has completely just forgotten what happened last season and their recipe for success, and they're in big trouble. Sam Darnold, listen, big day for him. 5 touchdowns, one interception, 373 in the air. This is a really good job, 70%. The rookie Jermichael Peck, touchdown, 2 picks. Like I said, he's putting up some good numbers. The problem is that interception number is too high again, and it's not equaling wins. So unless you're going for, um, you're going for rookie of the year, which I'd have to look at it and see where people are at. It's going to be hard to get it with a lot of interceptions. Let's go to the Russian though. Patterson, Mixon. I mean, imagine Joe Mixon getting 13 rushes so that Sammy D could throw the ball for over 300, 400 yards. Unbelievable. 1.7. So give the New England defense a little bit of credit here, holding Mixon in check. Patterson does a good job, but the running is whatever. Dolphins. Balmer the tight end. Allen for 95. I mean, Waddle. This is a better job here. Waddle now getting involved, right? Gotta get some deep threats going on here to go with the tight end. 5 different guys catch a touchdown, so really good. We'll say a lot of that has to do with the Patriots' pass defense, which seems to be lacking. Patriots, in a good move here, spam Tevin Moore with 9 receptions in order to make sure that their halfback is not leading the team in receptions past week 9. We'll get more into that at the end of the broadcast. But right now, keep a little eye on this. Tevin Moore with 9 catches. Patterson only with 3. John Ross with 1. He's 8 years in the league. Nobody cares. Everybody else just bums. Right? A.J. Brown, you got an A.J. Brown guy. He's 6 years in the league. He should be in his prime. 1 catch for 10 yards. Like, what? Like, and you're throwing it to Tevin Moore. Bad people wonder why they bad. I keep telling you why you bad. You don't listen. You throwing it to Tevin Moore. You should be throwing it to A.J. Brown. It just is what it is. John Ross has more yards than A.J. Brown. Let that sink in. Julio Jones, 95 years in the league, has more than A.J. Brown. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Final score, 35-14. New England gets shut out in the second half. Miami with a win. Doesn't matter for each of them, though. It doesn't matter. Indianapolis, Seattle. Indianapolis gets the force win. Seattle finished their second forced loss in a row due to punishment, due to rule violation, because Seattle doesn't like to run the football. Okay? We'll see what happens with Seattle from the weeks moving on. They understand what the situation is. We're at a point of our cycle inside FML where we have no problem replacing people and bringing in somebody else to see what they're going to do and set ourselves up for success in the next cycle. Okay? This is a tryout for some people. If you go ahead and do things the right way, you get to stay here, you get to be in here next cycle, you get to pick a better team, all these amazing things, and enjoy the beauty that is FML. You gonna come here with shenanigans, you ain't gonna be here for the M23 team selection. You're gonna be over there playing in God knows what league. Alright? Win by the Colts, lost by the Seahawks. Best of luck to the Seahawks moving forward. Philly and Chicago. The villain. Boston. I can't even call him villain, dude. You're Boston, bro. But the villain, right? And I'll tell you something. Listen, you think you're the villain, bro? If anybody should change their name to villain, it's probably like this guy. Malibu should clearly change his name to Toxic. Just be Toxic, okay? I should change my name to like Villain or something. I get it. You are just like, you're Boston. You're Boston. It's cool. Boston's good for you. You're from Boston, bro. But let's get into the game. Struggling Chicago Bears. Philadelphia Eagles on top of their division. And here's what I'm going to say about this game. These are the games that users have to win when they're not at their best. There's no way it should be a 3-point game here against Chicago, right? But in all fairness, it was 24-14 going into the fourth quarter. Philly did what they had to do in order to win the game. Chicago scores a touchdown at the end, but doesn't really mean too much. Aaron Rodgers, 300 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 75%. Great job by Aaron Rodgers. Justin Fields forces the pass, doesn't equal a win. Once again, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. His completion percentage is great. The yards are great, but just not a passing team. Here's the struggle, and this is interesting, right? Josh Jacobs, 12 for 27. So, and this is the Bears. Bears have a really good defense, and they're really good at running the football. But for whatever reason, this game, they could not get the run going. They were able to stop the run, but Aaron Rodgers, being the veteran that he is, finds the holes. Easy to pick them apart. They win the game 24-21. Let's take a look over here. And here we go. I know you guys are watching the show. I know you watching here, Bus. Okay, I know you're watching because I've been talking about Mooney and a deep threat in Chicago and getting that ball flying this whole season. And what do I see here? I see 3 for 133, 44 yards, average per catch for a touchdown. Now listen to me and look at me. Look at me, Bus. Look at me right now. Look at me right now. You keep doing this in the pass game and you get your run game going. You're going to be something here. If you don't, and you only worry about running the ball and you don't throw the ball deep again, you're never going to be nothing in here. You understand me? Look at me. You keep throwing the ball deep when these guys want to crash the box here to stop the run. You keep doing it. Good job. You still lose, though. Cole Kmet was 6 for 104. Good job spreading it around because there's nobody else here that's any good. Montgomery, Eason, we don't even know who these guys are, okay? Get Mooney involved. Have him be your deep threat. All right? Very important. Jamal White from the Eagles, 6 for 111. Really good job from the receiver and tight end groups. And spreading it around. 7 guys get catches. It's a really good job by the Eagles. Just spreading it around. Like I said, you got to win when you're not at your best. The Eagles are able to do that. 24-21. Big win for them for the in the NFC. Chicago, they're in bad shape. They're playing for the draft. But I also think that Bus is playing this season. He's got to figure out his passing game and then integrate that run game in there. Because right now the whole thing is he can run the ball well, can't throw. If you can do both, he becomes very dangerous. Very dangerous. Here we go. Carolina, Arizona. Lord have mercy. Let's just look at the first quarter. Carolina goes down 21-0 to start the game. And this was great job by Arizona. They came out first possession, threw the ball, ran the ball, go down the field and score 7-0. Carolina comes back first play, throws a pick six, 14-0. Then we get the ball again. Mac Jones gets out of the pocket, goes to run. We try to get him to slide, but Mac Jones with 19 speed is too slow. Fumble. They score on that drive. It was 21-0, maybe halfway in the first quarter. All because Arizona did a great job. They played great on offense. They played really good enough on defense. We tried to and get a comeback going, just couldn't do it. Arizona, once again, they watch the show. These guys are watching the show. They know that we keep calling them tankers. They know that we say, if you don't win 8 or 9 games, we're going to boot you. They watch it. Kuzi, look at me. Kuzi, look at me. I do this show for people like you, buddy. I want you to be better. You're better, FML's better. You're welcome. Good win by Arizona. Let's get more into it. Travis Ward. Travis Ward comes out 200 yards. And so in the game, listen, I don't think Travis Ward is special, but he's good enough for them. He's no Kyler Murray, but he's good enough. And really, Travis Ward wasn't the reason they won. I'm going to get into the reason they won, besides us being god-awful. So, besides Carolina being god-awful, and Mac Jones having a horrible day, right, 16 to 24, 60%, 1 and 2, horrible day for Mac Jones. Let's get into the real reason why Arizona was so successful. Silas Evans, 22 for 179. We couldn't stop him. He's very quick. He's very shifty. Really good job with the jukes and all this shenanigans. Okay, really great job. Um, Christian McCaffrey averaged 6 a carry. He got to 11 carries. Huh, there's Mac Jones, 1 for 19 with his fumble, right? But really couldn't get CMC going. Couldn't get him going. We're down 21 nothing quick. It was a great job owning the run game, having Ward pass to opportunity, right? And that's what Ward should be. He's not the guy that's going to sit there and just win the game for you. But when you have a guy like Silas who's cooking, let Travis throw a little bit to keep everybody honest. He does a great job. Receiving wise, once again, look at the car. Devontae Smith, Boones, Evans gets one. I mean, everybody got a little bit of something here. Panthers couldn't really get anything going. Tremble with 4. Luke Cage, the rookie, with 6. Moore with the touchdown. McCaffrey. But listen, at the end of the day, great job by the Cardinals. I think that now the Cardinals hopefully are going to find their rhythm, and they're gonna challenge for that NFC West. They are. I think Estrada's got a lead though now. He's been playing well. He's got a couple of forced wins under his belt due to other violations, people not wanting to play him. But I think Carolina they might be able to catch him. We'll see what happens. Or I'm sorry, Arizona might be able to catch him. Oh boy, we got a lot of. Oh man, hey, we love it. Everybody in the chat, man, get after it. Talk about it. We love it here. We love it. We want you guys to talk about it. Okay? This is for everybody. This is for everybody to enjoy. Denver Cowboys. Cowboys on vacation. They lose. Don't care. Moving forward. In a game that was not a sim. It was not a sim. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers outscore the Falcons 21 to nothing in the second half. Listen, Atlanta, it was 21-17 at the half. Had a good thing going, okay? And then they fell apart. We saw some old John with the 0 in his name. Old John, because he got shut out in the second half. We saw some old John over there throwing it into. There's a big infamous clip now. He's throwing it to quadruple coverage. It didn't work out. Didn't work out. Tampa Bay does a great job. They forced 3 turnovers. Love plays pretty clean. Let's get into it. Let's get into it here. Jordan Love, 228, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a clean game for Love. 12 of 17 for 70. If Love can continue to play this way, they're going to continue to win, and I think that's the thing. Listen, Ronald Jones is going to get his, but can Jordan Love stop throwing interceptions? In the games where he doesn't throw interceptions, they win a lot more than they lose. In the games where he has the interception bug, it's not even close. They get blown out. They get beat up. Deshaun Watson, 252 in the air, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 60%. Once again, 6% is good. It's not great. I don't think that, clearly Atlanta's not satisfied. But the 2 interceptions are big because they were foolish interceptions. They were foolish. They cost them the game. In the run game, Ronald Jones, 13 for 177 for 3 touchdowns. Ronald Jones did a lot of eating that game. Even got the backup involved. Snell, 1359, not bad, just not great. Let's get into the receiving here. Godwin, the deep threat, 28. O.J. Howard, the security blanket. A couple other guys. I mean, really good job here. 4 guys get the catches, but, there's no Duvernay involved here. Maybe Duvernay's more out of the picture. If you guys want to DM for Duvernay, maybe he's available. Who knows? Let's look at the Falcons, though. Kyle Pitts, 6 for 91. The problem is the curse of Kyle Pitts, huh? The curse of Kyle Pitts. When you have something like that, you want to throw it to him. The problem is he gets enamored with throwing to him deep. Throw that guy an arrow. Throw this guy a slant. Throw something higher percentage. Not everything can just be a deep ball. Especially when they got a safety over top and a corner trailing. Need to do a better job. Devontae and Ridley both get 3. So, he tries to spread it out. But there's a curse. But there's a curse here, man. I can see the chat. Prime, I love you with the sub, man. Thank you so much, bro. We appreciate it. Boogie, I know you subbed. Malibu, you always subbing, right? We got the Estradas, we got the Asians, man. I appreciate you guys more than you even know. Thank you. Listen, I don't need the money, but it's not about the money, man. I appreciate the support. I try to put on good stuff for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That being said, John, you need a sub here. You need a sub to this. And you need like the super package. I don't even know if they allow like a platinum super package, but you need to get the highest sub possible, okay? And then I'm gonna get in the DMs. I'm gonna try to help you, but it's gonna cost you. All right, so super sub package right now. I better see that come in right now. I want to see super sub package by John. You subbed. I'm gonna help you out. Otherwise, what can I do? What can I do? Final score 42-17. Even though they have the same record, Tampa clearly the better team right now. 42-17. That's how it ends. Let's get into the next one. Here we go. Oh, no. The Rams, the Steelers. The Steelers were away. Hashtag change the view. So nobody clearly watched this game. Nobody's watching this game. When you got the blimp view, we can't watch that. They turned the ball over 4 times because of the view. Horrible in rushing. They can't see the rush lanes. This is just all bad by Pittsburgh. Rams are up 35-14 at the half. Pretty much kick into chill mode after that. Let's dig into it. Dak Prescott. Oh, my goodness. Here's what's funny. Dak Prescott over in Dallas couldn't get nothing going. He's in L.A. This guy's a monster. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, 14-19. Scott Hall throws the ball 39 times for 354. Listen, before you tell me this is a good job, this is horrible quarterback. This is horrible quarterback play. Anybody, and I mean anybody, can throw for 350 yards when you throw the ball 39 times. You're not even averaging 10 yards per attempt. You're under 10 yards per attempt. Anybody could do that. 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, though? You're not going to win many games. So, bad game by Scott Hall. Corum, 12 for 82. The Steelers do run it 11 times. Couldn't really get anything going. I mean, they're over 3 yards a carry. I probably would have ran it more, but it is what it is. I mean, really trying to get Scott Hall going, but, maybe see if he's the quarterback of the future or not. Chisna or Chizina, whatever you want to call him. 3 for 115 and 3 touchdowns. Jeez Louise, what route is this guy getting? And here's the crazy thing. Here's what I don't understand. One day it's Chisna. One day it's Bateman. One day it's Estrada. So right now it's like they don't have a true number one. Everybody's just kicking in. Hot hand is who's winning it. Chisna gets this one today. He gets the nod. Big day for him. Big day for Jacob Harris. Corum out of the backfield, right? Mike Estrada with only 1 catch. I mean, the guy just had like 200-something yards the other day. Doesn't get nothing now. Bateman, he had a ton. Not really getting action. Great job by the Rams, though, spreading around. Who do you game plan for? You know Corum's in the run game. You know he's a problem. But in the pass game, what do you do? If you go Chisna, maybe he goes Estrada. You go Estrada, maybe he goes Bateman. You go Bateman, maybe So, good job by them. Steelers, Dwayne Peoples, 3 for 103. Good job. Irv Smith, that's great. Like I said, everybody can get passing yards and all that, but look at all the zeros in the touchdown column. Look at all them zeros right there. That's horrible. That's got awful, right? They letting them get that. They getting that. So, I don't know what's going on here in Pittsburgh. Hashtag change the view. Change the view here in Pittsburgh. Please, for the love of God. Listen, LA Rams, I'm going to have to review some of this film, see what routes he's getting open here, because he is torching some people out here with subpar receivers. Chisna, not that guy. But the Rams win it. Rams are playing good football right now. 45, offense is clicking. 45-21 with the win. Game of the week. We could call this a game of the week, man. Raiders, Packers. And you look at this game, 21-17 at the half. Green Bay, they're going into the third quarter. They're up 28-23. I mean, anybody's ball game. The Raiders find a way to score a touchdown to win it. I know that Green Bay had problems with their kicking game. kicking game ends up hurting them at the end. They lose the game. They turn the ball over twice. Let's get more into it. Ryan Leaf, another game against a tremendous defense, right? A tremendous defense. 311, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So once again, Ryan Leaf, no interceptions, and he does it against a really, really good Green Bay defense. 18 of 24, 75%. Daniel Jones, 9 of 11, 2 touchdowns and a pick. The pick, of course, hurts, especially when you lose a game by a point. But let's get into rushing. He is a rushing guy. Daniel Jones, killing it in the read option game. Unbelievable. This read option game over here for Green Bay has been great. No Fitzpatrick in sight. Daniel Jones is the guy. 7 for 92 and 2 touchdowns. Kamara chips in with 15 for 86. Jones 20 for 75. So this is more of a rushing game. They both do amazing in the rush game. Look at this. 4 yards for Jones pretty much. Kamara eating up at almost 6. And every time Jones touches it, and so these are designed runs. Yeah, there's a scramble in there too, but most of these are designed runs. 7 for 92. If anything, I think Daniel Jones is somewhere around like 88 speed, unless he's regressed. Oh, here we go. Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers here. Kenny Golladay with 3 catches for 73. Stretching the field. Mike Evans, 1 for 46. Stretching the field. Kamara, short-handed, 3 for 24. He's tied with Golladay for the lead in the receptions of this game. We're going to get more into that later on as soon as we're done with all the recaps. Wall with 2 for 20. Let's go to the Raiders. Man. Aaron Jones, 7 catches for 81. Henry Ruggs, the deep threat, 25 yards a catch, 4 for 98. This is a really good job. Waller, everybody digs in here. I mean, it's just a really great game. 2 great competitors going at it. This is a big win for the Raiders. Big win in an AFC West where the Chargers, the Shelbys are kind of keeping pace. Even though we think that the Raiders are the better team, the Chiefs, they're inconsistent, but they're still a team that's above 500 that can give them problems. This is a huge win for the Raiders, though, because I think those other teams are going to have to play Green Bay. That's going to be a loss for them, most likely. Green Bay, not a big loss for them. It's out of conference. It's not in the division. They're still sitting atop the NFC North. They're going to take a hit somewhere else that we're going to talk about in a bit. That could possibly hurt them big time. Final score 29-28. The Vegas Raiders win it. And that's a big one. They've got another big matchup coming up this week, I believe, against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tune into that one, everybody. Watch that one. Here we go. Washington, San Francisco. Washington going over here, owning every single statistic. And this is because of the Washington defense. Washington defense clamps up. If the defense can play well, the offense gets more opportunities. Now, it wasn't tight. It was 17-12 at half, right? But Washington pulls away in the second half, pitches a shutout. They do some great adjustments. They're able to score later on, 34-12. Let's get more into it. Tua, 400 yards in the air, off of 13 completions. So 13-25. 13 completions for 400 yards. Everything's a bomb here. Some of you guys think you're slick. You don't think I know. Taco, I know what you're doing. It's all bombs out here. The question is to who? Because Scary Terry's gone. So I can't wait to see who you're throwing it to. Trey Lance, 246, 1 and 2. Decent job by him, but once again, interceptions play a big factor. John Buck, 13 rushes for 39. Trey Lance he's the Niners' leading rusher here. It's because he gets out of the pocket. He's very evasive, very elusive. Great job by him. Smash Williams trying to share the load, and then Miles Sanders, horrible job rushing. Football team, Asher Adams, 5 for 241. 5 for 241, 3 touchdowns. Get this man some lotion, though. Can we get my boy Asher some lotion? Or you know what? Listen, he ashy as all heck. Let's leave him alone. Let's leave him be. You 5 for 241. Hey, I want to see just flakes of skin flying off you as you run into the end zone. Forget it. Leave the lotion. Or leave it alone. Mark Andrews 5 for 95. Equanimous St. Brown 2 for 57. Clearly Asher Adams' day. Apparently the Niners did not know that they are allowed to legally play defense against Asher Adams. They leave him alone and he capitalizes. Kittle, amazing weapon, 8 for 142, but it just doesn't matter. Kittle's is the only weapon. Look at this. Where's Terrell Owens Jr.? Where's Jerry Rice Jr.? No catches. It's very hard. They need more consistency there in San Francisco. They can't get it. Washington wins the game 34-12. Baltimore, Cincinnati. This is the game we were talking about, everybody. This is the game we were talking about. We said that this game right here was bigger for the Bengals than it was for Baltimore. Cincinnati came out hot. They came out good. Great game plan. They're up 16-10 at half, and then it all fell apart. Get outscored 28-3 in the second half. Baltimore able to just continue just chugging away with their offense, play some solid defense, get the ball back. 38-19. Let's get more into it. Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, 11-16. That's a great day for him. I still think David Cummings, listen, he's got 300 in the air, and I think that's amazing. But he's just not accurate. He throws the ball to the other team way too much. I don't think that the Bengals, and this game has kind of shown it, the Bengals are not even ready to take second place in this division. They're going to be third, and they need to hope that they can win some other out of division games, but in conference games, to get that 7 seed wildcard spot. Because right now it seems as though Baltimore will be the 5 seed. Let's get into the rushing here. Barkley, 13-49. Nyheim Hines has had a really good season, but the Baltimore defense is different. They're really good. They can be really good. 18-45, 2.5 yards per carry. It's hard to win that way. So when you do that, now you become one-dimensional. You're putting the ball into Cummings' hands too many times, and he turns the ball over. Receiving-wise, Higgins, big day for Higgins. Like a good neighbor, Corin is there. Always reliable. They get 6 different guys to catch some balls. But once again, only 1 touchdown. It's just not enough. And in something that has just been in circus, it has been in circus this entire time. Why would you ever give an X factor, or maybe he was superstar at the time, top-notch young receiver to a division rival? You not getting nothing. The only person in your division I would trade with is the Steelers, because it doesn't matter who I give to the Steelers, they're never going to beat you. It doesn't matter. But you fighting with this dude year after year, 2 times a season. You can't trade with this dude. You can't trade with him. You can't make him better. And this dude just showed you. Jamar Chase, not happy with the Cincinnati Bengals. 7 catches for 264, 3 touchdowns. Mecole Hardman was on the trade block. Baltimore tried to get rid of him. They couldn't do it. Because they couldn't get rid of him, he's starting to play a little bit better. 3 for 56 and 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase should still be a Bengal. Burrow should still be a Bengal. None of those guys. Mixon should still be a Bengal. None of those guys are there. Cincinnati, they've got to find a way to get into the playoffs. They're going to have to do it through the 7th seed. They're going to have to go the hard way. Final score, 38-19. Baltimore with the win. Here we go. Hey, real quick, we're going to get into the standings of where we're at, and then we're going to go over the last topic, which is going to be the halfback receptions. It's going to be get ready for it. There's going to be some hurt feelings out here. It's not good. All right, so let's start off with the AFC. Let's look at a little bit of playoff picture right now. Let's look at it a little bit. Here's the AFC. Right now, you've got the Browns here. They're at the number 1 seed. They're undefeated. Okay? Raiders and Jags. They're battling for number 2. You got the leader of the AFC West. You got the leader of the AFC South. They play this week. This is a must-watch. Get in the schedules tab. Find out where they're playing. You watch that thing. I don't care if you're at work. I don't care if you're with the lady. You put that thing on. You put it on the side. You do what you got to do. You need to be watching this game. I'm going to be watching. All right? Can't wait. Chargers at 6-3, and the Chiefs at 5-3. Both these guys, only one can win the division. The other two got to fight for the wild card. Ravens 6-3, fight for a wild card. The Bills, irregardless of where they're at in this little standings, are first place in the AFC East, so they will automatically get a top 4 seed for winning their division. Okay? Steelers outside looking in, Bengals outside looking in, and a whole bunch of other guys outside looking in. Let's go to the NFC. Rams and Eagles. And I tell you, hey, listen, if y'all were to tell you at the midway point that the Rams would be in line for fighting for the 1 seed in the NFC, you would say you crazy. Which, speaking of, let's get into it. Pretty sure there was a bet early on in the season saying if anybody could go over 500, something was going to happen. You know who you are. You know who I am. Let me tell you what I'm going to do for you. Don't give it to me. Send it to the Rams. Don't give it to me. Send it to him. I appreciate you, Rams. Way to go. Go get yourself something nice. All right? Eagles, 7-1. Also, listen, so you knew the Eagles, they were in the wild card. They got bounced by the Panthers in the wild card, but they're a tough team. They have completely improved. They got Aaron Rodgers. They went from maybe a 7 seed, I believe is what they were, to now they are in the conversation for the 1 seed. Panthers at 6-2, Bucks at 6-2. Panthers beat the Bucks in their first matchup. So that puts the Panthers right now in the lead in that division, but Buccaneers are here in line for not only a playoff spot, but an opportunity to win their division. Big time for the Buccaneers. We'll see what happens. Vikings and Packers. Only one guy can win this division. It's the same as Carolina and Buccaneers. Right now, you got the Packers at 6-3. You got the Vikings at 5-3. They're gonna fight it out. They split their series. Football team and Giants. These guys are outside. Looking in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. NFC East is going to have to fight for it. Because right now, if you look at it, Buccaneers are going to eat up a spot. Right? Rams, division winner. Eagles, division winner. Panthers, Buccaneers, both of those guys are probably going to get in. Vikings, Packers, both of those guys are probably going to get in. There's only one spot left. Is it football team? Is it Giants? Is it Cardinals to come back and make a run? Falcons? It's not Falcons. It's not Falcons. It's between the Cardinals, the Giants, and the football team. Oh, man, I can't wait. We don't need to go into divisions. We're talking playoffs from here on out, man. What a great race it's going to be. But let's talk about something right now, because this is something everybody was talking about. One of the biggest controversial rules to now be put in. And listen, you guys may not like it, but it is what it is. And let me explain to you right now. Whether you like it or not, you got to agree with it. Now, myself, I will go ahead and I will talk about this rule. The running back cannot lead your team in receptions at the end of week 9 or at the end of the season. Can't do it. And you can blame all those guys that kept using halfback out again and again and again and again. Those are guys that ruined it for everybody. Okay? I don't agree with it. Because guess what I got? I got CMC. This guy's a 98 overall receiving back. He's made to catch balls. But it was in my head every game I played, I kept thinking, not going to get me. Not going to get me. No way. Let's see who we got. Bears, good job. Tight end receivers, they lead the way. Bengals, Corey Neighbors. Yeah, halfback's number 2, but guess what? Corey Neighbors, 14 more catches. Great job. Bills, both receivers and the tight end ahead. Great job. Broncos, geez, great job by all of them. The Browns, great job by the Browns. They're safe. I think it's like elimination, right? Godwin, it was close. Ronald Jones, he was at the top, right? Ronald Jones is just as good as a pass catcher as he is a runner, but Tampa figures it out. Godwin stays ahead 34-30 in receptions. Cardinals, one of the reasons we had to implement the rule, right? He was one of the reasons we had to implement them. Doesn't matter, though. I mean, yes, their record is 4-4, right? They don't really care too much, but they know that they can't tank. So if their plan was to tank, they can't do it because he's been called out on it. But Silas with 22 catches only. Bartell, Boone, Sherman, everybody else is picking up the slack, doing a great job. Chargers, same thing. He's the reason we have the rule. You want to talk about who to blame for the rule? It's Cardinals, it's Chargers. You guys spammed the heck out of it, and you were happy about it because you were like, hey, we got MVPs, right? And now here we go, we got a rule. So Keenan Allen leads the way. He's been in the league for 1,000 years, but he's the leading receiver now at 46. The Chiefs, great job. No reason to ever throw it to the running back when you got McMoney. Ferguson, great job over there. The Cowboys, Akers at 24, but Cooper and Lamb, the way it should be. And I will say this, I do feel as though this rule, whether you agree with it or not, has forced us to be more sim. And in sim, I mean, bro, it's the receivers that lead. It's the tight ends that lead in receptions. It's not the running back. That's who the quarterbacks are throwing to. Very rarely, and I think we've gone over this, you get a Marshall Faulk to come along. Very rarely do you get a CMC. For the most part, you're throwing it to your receivers, okay? So this has made it more sim, and I like the way that it's at the end of week 9, at the end of the season, because we can all agree that there's some games where you've got to check it down. They're all backing up. But over the course of time, the sim teams, the way that it is, NFL, it's the receivers that lead in receptions. So I didn't know if I was going to like it. Like I said, I don't really agree with it because I think that some people, the halfback out, it was a spam issue, but at the end of the day, it makes it more sim. You know? Balmer, 26-25 for Waddle, Mixon with 21. Good job by them. Eagles, Jacobs, you shouldn't even be catching anything out of the backfield. Everybody else eating. Travis Kelce, rest of the receiving crew. Kyle Pitts over here leading. Snell with 21. Football team. Well, let's talk about the football team for a minute because y'all think you're slick. Taco, look at me. You're not slick, bro. You're not slick. Okay? Asher Adams with 23. Mark Andrews with 19. Let's look at the running backs. 28 catches out of the backfield. So, Taco does a really good job in not getting the violation. But, of course, Taco still spams the halfback. He just does it and splits it up. Because right now you got 28 catches from the halfback position, 23 through a receiver. It's not a violation, but you always got one, right? You always got one. Good job, Taco, not getting the violation. I'm sure now there'll be an amendment in which the halfback position cannot have more than the receiver. You know? But hey, way to scoot that for 9 weeks. Good job. 49ers, George Kittle. I mean, great job by him. Even though Sanders is second in receptions, got to find a way to get all these other guys up there. Debo, Jerry Rice Jr. The Giants, Dobbins at 27, but Slayton 37, 31. Great job by the Giants. Jaguars, NTN, who probably is another guy who can get the ball out of the backfield and be very explosive. But it's DJ Chark, Cyborg leading the way. Not even close. 40-23. Great job by the Jags. Jets, you know it's the tight ends. Tight ends are eating out here with the receiver. Great job. Lions, great job by them. And here's the one. Here's the one, guys. Here we go. Here we go. We are going to have a problem here, and I don't know what it is. Listen, I'm not on the rule committee like this. I'm not in the commission's chat. I'm not in the round circle. I don't know what's going on. Let me tell you something, though. This penalty here could be the most brutal penalty in FML history. Let me There we go. This could be the most brutal penalty in all of NFL history. Let me explain why. This rule was made at the beginning of the season. This wasn't something that just popped up out of nowhere. They told everybody, don't do it. This is what it's got to be. You had 9 weeks to prepare. You had 9 weeks. By far. This is not a, hey, I made a mistake. I rolled out the pocket, which we all do. You made a mistake. This isn't a mistake. Hey, man, dang, bro. I ran 9 times. I didn't get the 10th. It happens. Right? We understand it. Hey, man, you make a mistake. This is a conscious forget you to the league. Because there's only one team who didn't go ahead and abide by this rule, and that's the Green Bay Packers. And listen, and Doc, you got to understand, I agree with you. And Kamara, I looked at the stats. CMC is a better overall receiving back than Kamara is. I believe Kamara was 96 and CMC is 98. So CMC is still a better receiving back than Kamara. And every week that I played, I thought about it. And I said, dang, and it affected me. I can't get him too much. I can't get him too much. This is a problem now. This could be the most severe penalty because this isn't a 1-week suspension here. Is it? And listen, I'm just going to throw some things out there. Let's just throw some things out there. Is this Kamara suspended for the rest of the season? Is this Kamara and Jones suspended? I don't know what it's going to be. I'm just telling you right now, this is not a 1-game suspension. This is not a warning. This is you on purpose for 9 weeks did not adhere to the rules. You didn't check yourself and your team. You did it. And not only was it not even close, you won by 8. So Kamara was leading by 8. This is a problem. It's the only team. I see this as being a very stiff penalty. And we'll see how it goes. I don't know if this means, listen, you can go ahead, play out the rest of the regular season. You're going to make it to the playoffs anyway, right? And then when they get to the playoffs, Kamara got to sit. Daniel Jones got to sit. This is going to be, in my mind, one of the stiffest penalties in FML history. Because if it's not, just understand, if it's not, there's going to be a lot of spam in the running backs to say, whatever, it's just a 1-game thing. I don't care. Oh, we don't care. It's just 1 game. Yeah, 2 games. I'm not worried about it. This thing needs to be stiff. It needs to be big. We'll see what happens. Like I said, let's keep moving forward. Kamara has just gotten the Packers in big trouble. Panthers. Like I said, CMC, 28 catches. Tremble and Luke Cage with 32-31. Like I said, I monitored this every game all season. Did it affect play calling? It sure did. Did it affect checkdowns? It sure did. I got to abide by the rules. So you will not be getting the Panthers in a violation this time. Look at the Patriots. Tevin Moore got spammed the last couple of weeks. We saw that in the game. He had 9 catches, spammed him, and now Tevin Moore has overcame Patterson. Patterson was in the lead for about 8 weeks in a row until he just spammed Tevin Moore. Tevin Moore has taken the lead now, so there'll be no violation here. Raiders, great job. Rams, great job. Ravens, I mean, everybody here has abided by the rules. Everybody. We may not agree with it. Even the Seattle, well, you could say forced wins help, or forced losses helped him abide by the rules. Steelers, they do a good job abide by the rules. Texans, right? I mean, you shouldn't be throwing a Najee anyway. Titans, great job. And the Vikings, great job. So, once again, this is a very tough, and it's going to be a stiff penalty in my assessment. I think that the taco situation with taking 2 guys and, spamming the halfback position, but not getting the violation because, one guy didn't lead it. It was actually both. I think that's a loophole that he, of course, caught because that's what he does. There's always one to do it. Taco's the one that did it. So hard to punish him, but I could see an amendment coming. Packers, they're going to get a big one. They're going to get a hit in the mouth with this one. I don't know if this is a regular season penalty. which may or may not even bother them. Because we all know that Packers don't care about the regular season. They lab it, they get into the playoffs, and that's when they turn it on. The stiffest penalty in my mind would be you can do whatever you want in the regular season now. Go for it. They're out for the playoffs. You don't get Kamara and you don't get Daniel Jones until you make the Super Bowl. And you got to find a way to make the Super Bowl without Kamara and without Jones. That to me would probably be the stiffest penalty you could possibly give. Because those are the games that matter. We'll see what happens. Like I said, it's not on me, not my decision. Good thing, but let's all stand by for it. When you guys get word, we'll talk about it. We'll go over it. But this penalty right here is going to set precedence for the end of the season and for moving forward as to whether or not is the juice worth the squeeze. Can I keep spamming my guy regardless of the rule if I'm only going to get 1 game suspension? Well, then what am I worried about? I'm not worried. I'll sit 1 game. What do I care? But you going to take me out of playoffs? Or you gonna sit my guy the rest of the season? He's done. We've seen some wild violations before. We've seen some big, heavy-handed judgments. Like I said, I think this right here, because of the time frame, 9 weeks, could be the biggest penalty ever handed out in FML history. We'll find out. Listen, anyway, already some games already been played here. This is why we advanced on a Sunday. So, Mancha, you're over here at Coachella doing your thing. You're dancing with guys. Hey, I appreciate it. No problem. We got half the games already done. There's only a few games left. One of the biggest games, Jaguars-Raiders, baby. Let's get ready. Can't wait. Make sure you guys are watching this. Jaguars-Raiders, that's the only game left of real significance. Depending on when these games get played, hey, man, guess what? We'll do another show tomorrow. We'll do it again tomorrow. We don't care. We're ready. Any day. We're ready to go. This is the highest rated, longest running, most viewed show in FML on Twitch live. Check us out on Twitch, man. Subscribe. We appreciate you. Get us on YouTube at Coach Aponte. Hit me with a like or subscribe, man. We're just trying to have a good time. Big things coming for the channel here. You just wait and see. It's going to be great. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out of here.